Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video. This is your boy Pooch_studio, and today we're going to be talking about the Canon R50. This camera right here, I didn't even buy this camera. One of my homeboys had this camera laying around, and I was like, you know what, bro, let me use this camera for about a week, 2, 3, maybe a month, or give it to me. And he decided to give it to me or let me use it. So I want to sit down and actually talk to you guys a little bit more about this camera. And also, we're not going to make this a super specky video today. We're just going to talk about the basic things and, things that you probably didn't know about the camera, and I can probably, give you a little more information. So the Canon R50 is an APS-C mirrorless camera or crop sensor. You guys probably wondering, what does that mean? It pretty much is different from full frame. So a full frame camera has a wider picture frame. I'm going to put like text on the screen so you guys can, I'm gonna put a box on the screen so you guys can be able to tell the difference between a full size and a APS-C camera. Don't let this body actually fool you, because it might be small and not heavy and it's compact, but little do you know, this camera shoots at 4K at 20 frames per second, 4K at 60 frames per second as well too, and you also get a little bit of that 6K sample footage. And there's a lot of camera out here that doesn't even shoot 6K, does not shoot 4K. It's probably to shoot 1080, and 1080 is not a bad way to go too. I'm telling y'all, sometimes 1080 might just be looking a little bit more crisper than that 4K quality or that 7K quality. Let's talk video first, because I know this is what a lot of photographer and content creator out here is even buying a camera nowadays. Like, they buy GoPro, they buy Insta360, and it's more so to take videos instead of taking. So we're going to talk a little bit more about the specs on when it comes down to video. I just turned the camera on. Just by just looking at the camera, it shoots at 4K, 4K 29, 4K 23, but it does not shoot at 4K 60. I should have probably did a little more research before I even told y'all that in the beginning of the video. It does have high frame rate in here as well too, meaning that if you want to shoot at a slower frame rate. But the thing about shooting as that is, if you're going to shoot at a higher frame rate, that means it's gonna crop in a little bit more on your actual videos. If you were shooting this a regular 23 frames per second, it would have just been standard. But because you are shooting at a higher frame, which is like, it will be 60 or it will be 120. It'll be 120. It's pretty much simple, guys. It's just going to be cropped in just a little bit more. Audio, it does have audio on here as well too. When I first get into the camera, when you go into the menu bar, you want to change up a few settings, which is the HDR shooting mode. You want to change that. You want to change your highlight tone priorities, and you also want to change that clarity, your picture style. And this one thing that I don't like about this camera, this camera does not shoot log. So if I want to shoot in a flat picture profile and go back home to change or manipulate the footage, I can't do that. But again, a lot of people out here that shooting with this camera, or they're shooting with any camera, or that's not a videographer, I don't know how to say it, you don't need a raw quality. Most of my behind the scenes that I be shooting, I shoot in neutral profile instead of auto profile whenever I'm shooting like behind the scenes or anything like that. Or if I'm doing like a talking head or a podcast, I definitely will bring this camera up, and this will be my B camera and this will be my A camera, and it's literally golden. And if I do, it's literally golden. If I do need any other camera, I do use the Blackmagic, or I use the Canon 80D, which is a very older camera. The Canon 80D do not shoot at 4K, but it shoots at 1080, and 90% of the human being don't even know the difference between 1080 and 4K, because you can't really see it. And you guys know, when it comes down to the autofocus in any Canon camera, it is super fast, super tech. I love the autofocus in this camera. It is super fast, man. And again, I don't even have the right lens, or meaning right lens would be, this is the stock lens, the 18 to 45, but put on a 50mm on here or 85mm on here, you will see a very big difference in quality, very big difference in image, all of that. And one thing about this is, if you put this in autofocus, you don't have to keep going back and checking the autofocus. Just make sure that it's in focus, which for me, the Blackmagic, I wouldn't say I struggle with it, but because it is manual focus, I have to attack that camera a completely different way from if I was supposed to shoot with a Canon camera, because the Blackmagic is a manual camera. It doesn't have autofocus. I think the 6K does, but we're here talking about the R50, so that's what we're going to kind of stick on. So autofocus is just immaculate. All right, and then the last thing that we're going to touch on, we're going to touch on the photo based stuff. I haven't done a lot of photos with it, but I did take a few pictures of my son as well, and this camera shoots at 24 megapixel, which is more than enough for social media or you just shooting this brand content. This camera can definitely hold its own in its weight. I'm telling you guys right now. Who is this camera for? What is this camera for? Who should buy this camera? If you are a beginner YouTuber, beginner content creator, or you are a photographer or a videographer just now getting into video, you trying to learn and you trying to get a camera that's going to kind of cut out all that extra stuff, I'm telling you, this you cannot beat this camera on any market. Best for the buck, best for your money. Small, lightweight, compact with everything. Shoots 4K, like I said, shoots 1080, also shoots at a high frame rate, at 120 frame rate as well too. So it's just an all-around a great camera. Like I said earlier, I got this camera from my homeboy. He literally wasn't using it, and after putting this camera to work, going to bring it outside, shooting stuff like that, I finally see why people sleep on this camera, and I also see why people should not sleep on this camera. So this is the Canon R50. If you're starting a YouTube building a brand, or you just want clear, reliable visual, 100% yes. Gear doesn't make the curator, but the right gear definitely helps. If this video helped you at all, definitely hit the like button, definitely leave a comment down below, and if you're not subscribing, guys, what are you guys even doing? Definitely subscribe, and I'm gonna see you guys into the next video. Peace out, guys. Later.